Can you hear me, everybody?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yes. Yes, okay, perfect. Hi, everybody. My name is Christo. I come from Bulgaria and I run a tours and activities operator in Bulgaria. You see the logos in the presentation. And today I will be speaking to you about mastering the tours and activities market and marketplace. You see now the slide with all the points I'm going to touch and to speak about, and I hope in about 25 minutes to finish with my presentation. And I would like to encourage you to ask questions and to make a discussion because the webinars are quite new for me. I'm a public speaker and I'm used to in the audience and to communicate with it. So thanks for joining in, and we start now. I want just first to start with some interesting insights from Focusrite that the tours and activities market will reach this number that you see on your screens by 2020. And this is a huge and untapped market. And this is the big switch between from mass tourism to alternative tourism and to individual bookings and experiences. You see how it grows actually here on this slide, and this is a slide for the global travel activities bookings by 2020, again by Focusrite. And of course, the international tourist arrivals, which will grow. This graphic shows until 2030. So this is just the statistics. We all experience that ourselves, and everybody who is in the tours and activities marketplace could share could also share his or her opinion about that. Let's move on with the human and the artificial intelligence. No matter what we do and how we do it and all the advance of technology, tourism is a deeply emotional activity. And a part of the information that I'm going to share with you is that the robot and the artificial intelligence, the machine learning can help us a lot, but we should always rely on the human touch, because all the tours and activities and the bookings and everybody wants to experience something real, something authentic, something genuine. This is part of the whole experience of the tourist, and that's why individual travelers and individuals bookings have grown up and have increased so much in the past few years, and this is going to actually expand more and more. So first, let me tell you about what is booked and how is booked and what attracts the attention of the customers. This is something that it happens behind the scenes, but it's something that you should really know. And actually, one of the things is that the health and well-being are high on travelers' agendas. And the wellness experiences increased dramatically last year and in the past years. Also, travelers are looking for local classes and workshops abroad to enrich their lives beyond the trip itself. So those kind of bookings actually we see from our experiences that we sell in Bulgaria, that actually this experience is doubled. And if you read researches from TripAdvisor and from Focusrite, you can also read more statistics about that. The next thing I'm going to share with you is The sightseeing and the iconic attractions are just the mainstay, but experiences should cater for the whole family. So family experiences are something that it's really increasing, and the tours that are related to experiences with for the whole family, from the kids to the adults, are on the rise. Um, something something more is the cultural and themed experiences and the outdoor activities. So this is something that actually provokes interest in the tourists because it's part of the destination's history and culture, and also, of course, the gourmet and wine experiences everywhere. They grow quite a lot. Um, I just want to stop on this slide a little bit more because this what all happens is behind the scenes, as you see. And you first, from where you should start is just to see the big picture, the statistics, what is sold for, what is booked according to different markets in order to provide the people and the customers with the best product and to tailor it to their specific needs. So one thing is interesting for the Americans, other thing is interesting for the English. This all should be delivered by the statistics in order to produce the best experience for the target market that you are selling to. Here you see the apps and the mobile applications. This is the digital trend, which is actually the easiest to implement. Um, you know that in the past, in recent years, half of the online bookings are were and are made on mobile. Actually, um, these mobile applications do not only facilitate the booking, but combined with the Internet of Things technology, they can allow a lot more implementations for the tourism activities market. Also, promotional messages can be used as a part of the travel marketing strategy. The next one is voice technology. As you know, you can book already a hotel. Very soon you can book a tour on Google with the Google Assistant. And voice technology is very powerful because nowadays the people cannot have this time to write and to look at tens of different websites. They just make a voice search and they got the results. Of course, all this data should be gathered and analyzed from your website, from your application, from your channels, from your booking channels. And one of the things that you could do is to promote an augmented reality tour. We have quite a lot um, best practice about that, even in Bulgaria, which actually transports the customer to the exact place to experience the tour before actually making the booking. And of course, last but not least, you've got the special offers. You know, the special offers can always attract customers. And most of the booking channels and also your system that you are using have got this feature. Every traveler is interested in receiving discounts. Those should be limited in time just to provoke some urgency, as you know. Um, and you experience a lot more bookings than normally for those trips. Uh, and my question to all of you, is this all replacing the humans? Of course not, is my answer, because actually the human is behind all that. We are all using technology to help us, eager to do more and to drive more bookings, to provide more information, and as you can see a little bit further in the presentation, to do a lot more things. But our idea is that technology cannot replace the human touch nowadays and in the future. So we are going a little bit more with some data. When you design a tour or an activity or a multi-day tour, you need to have a unique selling proposition or USP. It's a concept that all of us know, but very few understand. A lot of operators focus only on the product they're selling in their advertising. But if someone is to ask the customer why they chose you, what words would they use? Without a clear point of difference, you could well have great success, but it will be more difficult. When people ask their hotel or accommodation for recommendation, what comes to your mind? So this is the unique selling proposition of your tour, something that it's really to remember. As you know, in all those booking channels and everywhere you have all the same tours. Sometimes they're with the same names. And if you start only with the name and the content of the tour, you can produce, no matter it's the same tour, like somebody else, even with the content, the way you present it and the way you do this tour, you make it for real, is a different tool by itself. And best practice is just to deliver some really unique experience to the customers that nobody else actually has tapped into. And people also do not understand that what makes you unique is also that that the experience of the customer begins as soon as the booking is made. Many tour operators tend to focus on the experience that they offer on the day of the activity and disregard the follow-up after the booking, before actually the activity, during the activity, and after the activity. So this is quite important, and there are many ways that you can keep the contact with the customer alive throughout all those days or all those weeks and months. You can set up automatic emails. Best is to contact the customer directly, because you can always see the difference between an automatic mail and a properly written email by a member of staff. VAP is, you know, everyone loves a little VAP treatment. For tour operators which offer exclusive access, it's actually a great way to set them apart from the rest. As we offer food tours, also gourmet tours and wine tours, we meet the chef or the restaurant owner or the winery management, and they can offer a story just to tell to the customers. So this is coming again from the human, and this is replicated in the tour. And actually, if we go to the first point, with the unique selling proposition, you have quite a unique tour. And don't get me right, VAP don't get me wrong, VAP can always mean exclusive access, but it doesn't have to be. VAP could offer you the opportunity to meet a person in person, to do something that nobody else can do, and to experience something that everybody else is not having actually offer. Of course, your biggest asset is the tour guide. That's why we put here the human touch. If you don't have a proper tour guide, actually your tour is not going to be right for the customer. No matter of the content, no matter of the story, no matter what you do in the tour, if you don't have the proper guide in the tour, your tour is even below 50% in terms of satisfaction because your face to the customer on spot is your guide. And if guides are part of your business, you need to use them wisely. They're a huge part of the uniqueness that you offer. And we do special trainings for the guides about their presentation skills, about how they talk, how they explain. Of course, we also check what they tell exactly, how they tell it, where they tell it, so they have like guidelines to follow. And this is very, very important. Of course, the brand. The brand, as you know, is not just your logo, but it's everything that you do. So people recognize you as a brand. And the brand is an evolution, it's never static. So if you do your job right with the tours, the brand will be recognizable, will be huge, and it will be quite interesting to to be recognizable and to be used on the different channels. Of course, you need to have excellent photos because photos is what sells actually the tours online. And my um, proposition for you is to take photos from the activities themselves and not to take it somewhere from the internet or to use any other photos that you can find online. They need to be specific, they need to be with people on them, they need to present the activity and the different parts of the activity. The more photos you have, really the better. And of course, last but not least, here are the details of the tour. Everything should be written really clear. And when you read it as a customer, you need not to have questions on the itinerary. It needs to be um, so well written and so good that it should provoke no questions. What's included, what's not included, what's optional, what you can see in your free time, and all these details. Which is your guide? Maybe a photo with the guide, with the experience of the guide, and so on. All this is part of your brand and your presentation. We continue with the big players in this industry. As you know, Google and all those companies that you see on the slide are in the tours and activities market. Which is the biggest one? It's really hard to say, but they all do something really incredible and impressive all around the world. And here on this slide, you also see the robotics and the artificial intelligence, because in the next slides, you see some videos which we're not going to watch live now, but tomorrow you will receive, together with this presentation, a link to my original Prezi. And in there, you can click the links to the videos and load them. They're from YouTube, and you can watch everything because it really takes time. So in this slide, the big players in the robotics with the artificial intelligence, okay, everybody from these companies is doing a lot of machine learning, and a lot of artificial intelligence in terms of providing you with the best offers on the best place at your location, close to you, and so on. Depending on your preferences, on your browsing habits, and so on. You know that Google is having this. You know that Airbnb started their experiences section, booking to TripAdvisor for a quite a long time, and of course Ctrip, which is one of the biggest online players from China, and they're doing a huge job on that. No matter the language is completely different, but they are tapping a lot on the European and American side, and tapping on the market of all those big players. So first thing here are the chatbots, and something that we spoke already, that you need to keep contact with the customers when they enter your site, when they enter your app or booking channel or Facebook. You need to capture them. And here you have several videos for what those software is doing, how it can do it for you. And last but not least here is to build your own, which in one of the links you see how to do it, not to use a ready-made one. The next slide is about the human touch and the artificial intelligence robots used as a tour guides. They're seen in many places. We also received an offer for a robot that can lead your group in a plane, so not in a mountain, but just walking distance like a city tour. So all this is happening, and I'm asking for your opinion about that. Would you prefer an artificial intelligence robot to talk to and to walk, to move basically, or a human that can actually understand you very well and can answer all your questions in a well manner? I'm talking about experienced tour guides. And how do you see an AI robot on a horse riding tour, for example, or on a difficult hiking up in the mountains? Here you have videos presenting all those robots in different situations. Some of them are humanoid, some of them are part of the Pepper family. So you will see those videos in the press link. Here you also have something from IBM that actually their platform is designed to create bespoke experiences between among the interactions that the different people have with different providers and the city services. Very interesting video. You need to watch it yourself. And here, of course, we have something that it's I think most of you have used. You know all those companies probably. I'm going to touch on some of them. U-Trip is you're going to see on the next slide, but Bokun is doing something fantastic because it's offering a lot of distribution for your tours worldwide. And Fair Harbor is actually the first experience a platform entirely led by artificial intelligence. Last but not least, here I'm touching on Questo because they are doing something very interesting. If you have specific tours in a specific country or city, you need to load them there in the shape of quests, so the people could be a lot more attracted. This is non-guided, so the people go themselves. They're self-guided, and it's really interesting. And it's a lot of artificial intelligence, and the power of technology is in there. And of course, here you have a video with Chef Watson, who is going to to present to you how he prepares a dish with an artificial intelligence software. Actually, is the IBM app for that, with the products, with the actual products that you have in the fridge. Something very, very interesting, and something that could be used for tours and activities, as you see in a previous video. Of course, here we touch on To Utrip, which has an algorithm that searches for through millions of offers, of products, of experiences, and sees your preferences in order to um, package you the perfect trip, depending on your needs and wants and preferences. Very, very nice. And of course, last but not least, from this slide is what we do. This is one of our newest projects. It will be a global platform for tours and activities called Neon Tour. It will be from locals to locals, so we bet on the human touch and the face-to-face communication with humans on spot on the tour. And this platform will provide bespoke activities, unique activities around the world, which could be booked in every country. Last but not least, one of the latest slides from my presentation is how to use the autonomous vehicles for sightseeing, because nowadays this becomes really, really popular, and there are already tours around the world which actually provoke you to use such a vehicle and to drive around the city, and the vehicle actually explains at the GPS coordinates you are at your sites, what you see, what you can experience there, and so on. Fantastic, and here you can see 3 videos when you receive the Prezi. And of course, last but not least, you have your personal drone, the e-hang, where you can fly and make self-guided air trips around cities. This is something fantastic that you can really check. And why I'm showing you all those information so quickly, because I want to provoke you to think differently and to offer experiences and tours that are not mainstream, because mainstream is old, mainstream is still selling, but the sales are dropping considerably in the last years, and they will continue to drop. And the operators which offer unique, bespoke, deep, niche activities will be the ones to succeed in the near future. Of course, you can distribute all those activities on platforms with a global reach. Nobody says that you can do it only through your own channel, which is your website, app, or Facebook. So you need to think about that and to really shape really interesting activities to remember. Those are my contacts. You can scan the QR code. You can get my contacts. We are currently the largest operator of tours and activities in Bulgaria, and we are covering also Romania, Greece, Turkey, Serbia, Macedonia, all the bordering countries, and also with the project that I presented to you, Neon Tour, we are going worldwide. So thank you for your attention. It was nice to present to you, and I expect questions and a little bit more discussion now. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Risto. So let's start taking questions now. So if you have something you'd like to ask, just pop it into the chat box below. We've had a few thank yous already, which is fantastic. And of course, we've also been asked a couple of times whether the links to the videos will be shared. So as Risto said, yes, the links to the videos are going to be shared along with the full slides from the original slide deck. And of course, the recording as usual. So you'll receive an email from me probably tomorrow, I think, with all of those links. So you can watch it again, share, and of course, watch all of those videos. So I'll just give everybody a few more seconds to kind of type in their questions if you have anyone. If you're a quiet bunch tonight, so maybe you don't have any questions, I'll give you a few more seconds. Ian is asking, on your big players slide, you didn't mention Get Your Guide or Klook, who are two very big distribution companies and tools and activities. He's asking if you have any comments on those two companies.
Yes, they were not there. It was unintentional actually, but they're quite big. They're targeting different markets, and as you know, Get Your Guide received a huge funding recently, and actually it's one of the most funded startups ever in the tours and activities marketplace. They are good. They are just, because I speak from a Bulgarian perspective, they are just not so popular yet in Bulgaria. And that's why they are not on this slide, but they're huge worldwide. And I hope they will be in Bulgaria soon, pushing the destination more. They're in Bulgaria, but we are not seeing big effect from being there. And also Klook is really emerging, and for the Asian travelers, together with C-Trip, is huge. They're having different approach to the things. But what's interesting here is that you need to find the channel which actually which actually is interested to distribute your unique tours and activities. Because at first, I need to mention that at first, 5, 6 years ago, um, everywhere they go, in every channel they go, there was a human who um, accepted or didn't accept your proposed tours and activities. Nowadays, everything is accepted automatically based on artificial intelligence and so on. And the big threat from all those big platforms is that there are so many products which are actually the same. Maybe because we did the research through most of them, and about 80% of the products are the same. And how you stand out um, among all the products when you offer something unique, when you have the specific channel you are offering that through, and when you don't have any reviews to go on top, because all those mainstream products, they have reviews, so they always show up first. And this is something that it needs to be communicated with the support of those booking channels, and say, look, I'm offering something unique. You need to give me a hand on that. And if they are interested to do that, and I think most of them are already interested because they see that this is actually the way forward. They will help you out with your brand new product to be coming up on first or second page in the results. So this is really a big topic for these booking channels. And my proposition is to see their specific country where they sell the most, where their target is. for example, TripAdvisor target is United States and Europe. And if you are based in those two continents, you need to offer something unique to be there. There is uh, no package which will fit all the booking channels. And I hope I was helpful with my answer.
Great, thank you. So we've got a couple of other questions through. So the first one is, in your opinion, what is the most important point of distribution for the touring activities market?
The most important point of distribution?
Yeah.
Okay, those are the booking channels. Because, again, no matter you have the best website or the best app, you cannot, you need to pay so much for advertising and for marketing in order to beat the results in Google and to be on the first page. But most of all those companies, you cannot reach their marketing budget in any way. I'm not saying you don't need a website. No, you need a very nice website, but your main activity, main distribution should be done through the distribution channels. And here is the other question where you agree to pay these commissions, because they are variable and sometimes they are not affordable, because you need to keep the price of your tour low in order to sell it to a greater audience. But also you have to check whether you can allow to pay such commissions to the distribution partners.
Great, thank you. So another question is, how do you see the future or role of the DMOs, national to local, and their digital presence?
The WeChat. Yes, currently in Bulgaria, this is not popular for sure, but we're reading a lot about that, and we're reading why, because we need to capture also the individual Asian traveler, and they're using those two services quite a lot, and their moment section and everything. But for this, you really need to have a person who speaks the local languages, like Chinese, for example. And this is in most times very costly, because if you offer something to these services in English, you're not using the opportunity there, actually. I think that in my personal view and what we see, and this huge demand from the Asian countries, from China, there are these huge outbound customers in numbers. Actually, this is the way forward for destination management organizations or tour operators to tap into this market and to actually provide directly their services, packages, offers, everything they've got. But there, you need to have very good information to be prepared, and not to be just directly selling. So if you are directly selling all the time, it's just not going to work. You need to have all the information on spot, and from that information to lead the customer to a booking. And one last thing about that, um, according to a C-Trip recent report, is that, as you know, normally the Chinese until recent years, they were traveling abroad a lot more in groups than individually. Now this is actually changing, because they want to be more personal with the experiences, with the destinations, and more flexible, of course. And and this is one of the ways to tap onto those customers. First, your new secret, and then to use the local services in the destination. I hope this answers the question.
I think you misunderstood the question a little bit there, but I'd let you finish because I think you were talking about WeChat, and that's actually a pretty interesting topic to cover there as well. But I think the question was more along the lines of how do you see the future digital role of DMOs? So, as in destination marketing organizations.
Oh yes, right. Well, I'm not a big fan of the destination marketing organizations. Is that your question about the destination marketing organizations, right?
Correct.
And
so basically what you see the future to be for them.
yes. Well, in Bulgaria, I don't know in the other countries. In Bulgaria, those organizations are part of the government. So everything which is part of the government is not having this business approach to doing to do the right things. So in my personal view, only for Bulgaria, I don't speak about the other countries because I don't know how this is shaped there. There is no future for those organizations because the type of content they provide and the way they provide it is just not matching to what the digital age wants and what the customers actually want uh, to experience, what they want to read, what they want to understand before visiting a destination or at the time in the destination.
Great, thank you. So one more question is if you have any suggestions for experiential travel companies who have a really good product to talk about but don't have a big budget to market.
Yes, right. Yes, I have some suggestions. Of course, we are also part of that, especially in the beginning when we started 10 years ago. And my suggestion to all of them is to use the distribution channels because this saves a lot of money for sure. You give one high percentage in terms of commission, but in the end you have bookings. And uh, what makes your business go forward is the actual sale. So this is my only my best advice for them, and also to have a very good website, because if the content in the website is really well written, Google has changed recently the whole algorithm. So actually, it scans through all the content of the website. If it is copied from somewhere, no matter that you pay something in terms of advertising, you are never so popular. And actually, their strategy is a little bit different now. If your content is really unique, you really can stand out very easily on Google without paying. But first are the distribution channels for sure.
Okay, great. So as a follow-up to the destination marketing organization question, they're asking, as they should be moving from marketing to management, do you see a space there for using digital better?
Yes, for sure. They need, especially in Bulgaria, they need to use the management because we see that even in Bulgaria, in most places, in most destinations, the local offices do not have the full information. And actually, if a customer asks them or goes on spot, the information he gets or she gets is really limited, and it's only brochures and things like this. There is just not so the digital approach. And but this is also due to the people. So if they, I think that their role should be in the management of all the attractions, of everything that that is there on spot, in order to be available as the best information you can get, and to be your helping hand, the local helping hand on spot, because most of the uh, local people who operate activities or accommodations or any types of experiences in Bulgaria, they don't, some of them, they don't have computers. You cannot reach them in any way. If you want something, some photos or something with some more information, they're just unreachable. You need to have a local helping hand on spot who knows exactly what they do, who can provide you with this information, and who can help you in the management of all that. And I hope this answers this follow-up question.
Thank you very much. So that looks to be all the questions we have today. So thank you so much, Risto, for joining us, and of course, everybody else. And as always, don't forget to sign up for our other upcoming webinars. So thanks, everyone. Bye.
Okay, thank you guys. Bye-bye.